today I'm going to make a Dr. Pepper pulled pork. I'm going to start with onions. I've got 3 of them that I have cut in half and then in half again, so quartered. Line the bottom of my roasting pan with them. The outer edges really, not the whole bottom, because I'm going to put the pork in the middle. There we go. So the onions are just on either side. Now I'm going to get I have an 8-pound pork shoulder. I'll be right back. All right, pork. 8-pound pork shoulder. Right in the middle. I'm putting it with the fat cap up because we want the fat to be able to drip into the rest of the meat. Now I have a tablespoon and a half of dried mustard. Just sprinkle over the top. I have a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Sprinkle over the top. 3 teaspoons of minced garlic. I'm going to put it in the rest of the pan. I have a tablespoon and a half of pepper. I'm using white pepper today. And I'm sorry, not a tablespoon, a half of a tablespoon of pepper and a half of a tablespoon of salt. Whew, that sounded like a lot when I said it. Then I have 3/4 of a cup of apple cider vinegar. I have 9 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to learn to say that one of these days. And then a 2 liter of Dr. Pepper. We're going to use all 2 liters. I'm just going to pour this in. You can use other dark colas. Honestly, I do not like Dr. Pepper, but I really like Dr. Pepper pulled pork, and it doesn't make any sense. I'm also using my electric roasters because it takes about 6 hours. If you have a free oven, feel free to put it in a roasting pan and put it in the oven. It'll work the same way. What I'm going to do, put a lid on it. I'm going to turn this on to 300 and then come back in an hour and check on it. So our pork took about a little over 5 hours. The important part, no matter what the timing on it is, the very important part is that it reaches 195 degrees. So now our pork is ready. What I'm going to do is start to pull some of the pork away from the bone. I'm going to put it in this bowl over here. Oh, it's hot. And then we're going to shred it. So if we were going to eat this tonight, I would shred it and put it in a pan with barbecue sauce, homemade barbecue sauce, which I made in a different video, and then we'd bake it in the oven. Since it's really late now and everybody else is in bed, we're going to do this tomorrow. So all we're going to do tonight is shred the pork. Whew. And when you see big pieces like this that have a chunk of fat on them, I just cut that away and throw it away. Because nobody wants a giant piece of fat in the middle of their pulled pork sandwich. Let's see, I'm just gonna, oof. Super hot. Oof. Bone. Throw the bones away. I go with a bone-in pork shoulder. I think that it makes the meat juicier, more tender. And I just have to, it means more work for me. obviously, but I think the product is better. Okay, I'm going to start there and shred. Let that cool off just a little. So I have 2 forks. These are meat forks, and I'm just going to, I don't know if you can see, I'm just going to use them to shred the beef. That's it. Not beef, the pork. What am I talking about? And then find the big pieces of fat like that. So that's it. We're just going to keep doing this until we get all of the meat off of the bone. So we have pulled apart the pork as much as we can. Now I'm going to put it in this lovely baking dish. And as I do it, I'll probably pull some more apart if I see big chunks like this. But other than that, and if we need to, we can pull apart more after we cook it with the barbecue sauce. That was a chunk of fat. So, all of our pulled pork in here. That look pretty. So I made a Texas style barbecue sauce, and there's a whole video on it. What I'm going to do now is take a cup of it. So I'm going to do, this is a half cup measure. I'm going to do 2 half cups. Pour it on. I'm going to mix it just with my hands. And then we're going to put this in the refrigerator, and we're going to bake this tomorrow. And then we're going to make pulled pork sandwiches. That sounds like fun. And there we are. So our pulled pork has been sitting in barbecue sauce overnight, letting all those flavors marinate. Now we are going to take the whole pan and put it in a 350-degree oven for the next hour. And then we'll be ready for pulled pork sandwiches. So our pork has been heating up in the oven for the last hour. I'm just going to stir it around a little. And then I have a bun that I cut in half, and I'll show you what we do. So we're purists. I know a lot of people who add coleslaw and barbecue sauce and pickles and onions, and that's not who we are. So all we do is take a chunk of pulled pork, or 2, and that's it. That's dinner.